Imprisonment may be a temporary way of solving the problem of unlawful disorder, but does it constitute justice for the victims? Does it perpetuate the idea of retribution and instill endless acts of crime and violence in the offender? For some, incarceration is life, the only way of life. For others, the struggle of confinement is too overbearing, and the only escape? Suicide. The stories tell that there were exceptions for those held up and bound behind the thick steel bars within its metal-clad walls, that of the 1910 Gila County Sheriff's Office and Jail in Globe, Arizona. From its inception as an operating town in 1874 into the early 1900s, Globe saw a steady increase in population, mainly due to westward settlers looking to cash in on its abundant silver and copper deposits and the town's mining operations. As the population increased, so too came prevalent crime and violence that had the town act fast as how it wanted to deal with those that were unlawful. The strain of maintaining peace and a lawful community was constantly thwarted with as the town's residents exchanged violence with the neighboring Apache in typical Wild West fashion, with the San Carlos Indian Reservation being merely a horse and buggy distance away. It's to no surprise that the town of Globe played host to an abundance of violent gunfights, stagecoach robberies, and murders, to name a few of the many unlawful acts of crime and violence during the town's history. So what better way to deal with such an influx of lawlessness within a steady growing town? This evening, we set our sights on learning the history of the building and conducting our very own investigation into whatever it has left behind, as this is just another one of our eerie explorations.
This was the actual sheriff's office at one point.
Sheriff's office, okay.
It was also our Main Street director's office. We have his picture right here. He hates this picture, and I promise I will get you another picture.
This painting?
Pretty much you can tell by the thresholds where certain rooms are, the holding tanks versus visitor or taking reports or offices and things like that. Okay. So these front rooms, well, they would have been secured. They weren't prisoners secured. So the gentleman in the middle of this photo here, Sheriff John Rimrock Thompson. He was the sheriff of the time when that he pushed to get this in. And the beauty is, and you can see and look at the list of sheriffs and marshals, you know, people didn't live that long in this job. Wow. Okay. You weren't to be married. You weren't to, you know, there was all these things because you just weren't going to live. You were going to get shot down. I mean, we've all seen all the old westerns. There's a lot of truth to that. So the beauty of Rimrock Thompson, there's so much, he did so much during the transition of this, but he was the first person to live to see his grandchildren. So it worked. It absolutely worked. And we still have family members that live in town from all of these families, which is wonderful. And a lot of them are in law enforcement. So all of this, you can see the doors where they would have started going that way to be locked. This is another, it would have been a visitor type room. In the original plans, which I'll show you, there was supposed to be more bathrooms and all of these things. But in the middle of building this or getting the plans going, and the blueprints were already drawn up, which I'll show you, but they had announced the closure of Yuma Territorial Prison in 1909. Okay. So we know that some of the cells were salvaged from our own, from that old courthouse, and then from next door where they built the jail in the bottom of the new courthouse, 1906 next door. Yeah. But the cells predate, they're late 1800s, so this was the original blueprints for here. So they opened in 1910, and like I said, these are all salvaged from different places, so we don't know what was actually new, what was salvaged. We know all the bars are a little bit different. So some are the round, and then some are the flat, and it's just different. So by now, you would have already had a lock, maybe 2 on the front door. You would have had another security lock somewhere in the middle here, and then this door would have been closed and locked. And then there's this door, would have been closed and locked. And then this door would have been closed and locked. And then this has the sleeve. And then 3 different locking mechanisms for each cage. So they weren't getting out of here. So it's kind of like a squirrel cage. And then the sheriff's officers could go around the outside to check on the prisoners.
Okay.
So all the food slips were probably cut to place. All the guys shared one bathroom tank, which is disgusting. You know, with all of these cages being welded open, the guys were just in here. They weren't let to run around. They couldn't go in the back unless they were trustees. It was pretty gruesome.
In here.
Very.
Wow.
4 guys, and a lot of times they were at full capacity. And there's several times we have newspaper articles that say they had to put mattresses on the floor to accommodate the extra. Here's the bathroom stall.
Bathroom stall. So they all use this?
They all had to share one. Wow. And Tom talks about even when they were sick and stuff, it was pretty brutal. And a lot of times, drunk tank was different. So this is county. So county, essentially the immediate stuff would have happened, you know, like at the county or the regular jail. But if you were being held for court cases or anything like that, you'd be in here. So on average, you know, they say it could be up to 6 months. If you're awaiting trial, that kind of stuff. And there was not the speedy trial then. You know, that's kind of why they said, you know, you have the right to a speedy trial, all those things, you know, because the judge might not come through, but every several months. And it could be as easy as you were accused of stealing a cow or molested a kid, or, you know, and you're all mixed together, and the juveniles were all mixed together. It was pretty horrendous in here.
Wow.
So up here, now granted, all of the locks that we just went through, there's the same amount here.
Okay.
This cell block does not have power, it's all been pulled. This is where all the graffiti. I'll take you just right into the center.
I already sense a little different feeling.
I don't like coming in here, but I'll come in here for you guys just for a little bit. Okay.
So you don't like coming in here? I'm assuming it's because you experience things here, maybe?
So what?
You're experiencing things here, like you've experienced?
Yeah, it's dark. It's dark.
And I see the sink. So these sinks were here?
Drinking water, washing your face.
So they were at the exact, they weren't moved. This was like basically.
Yeah, we were told that they were added later, but the piping, you know, I'm not exactly sure what year they were added.
Yeah, probably not too much longer after, you know.
Yeah, the bathrooms. And the water would have been in the back of the commode.
So I just can't believe the history in this place. Like,
and it's all decades. Think about it. Like 1910 through 1981. I should have said that. Our last prisoners here were in 1981. So this is the women's tank. Okay. So we had a 4 and a 2-seater, and then we had, this is the assassination cell, but let's start with these up here. Okay. Right. They had the same idea of everything being closed in, and then you could go around.
So this is the women's, you say? Okay.
This whole floor. This would have been meditation. So when you look out, you see this beautiful church garden now, but it was just a brick wall forever. That's what they would have seen. Okay. It was pretty. There was a building almost on top of us. Okay. This would have been if you were super sick. I like to call it conjugal physics, but I don't know if that actually happened. You know, things that it was separated. We know there was a woman matron when she retired. She felt so bad for the women in here. She had asked to move in with them to caretake them, and they did let her, so we're thinking maybe she even lived in here. This definitely matches the square footage of our courthouse next door. Okay. Of the bolts and things. Okay. So, and it might have had a different structure earlier and got changed, but they call this the infirmary cell. They've called this isolation. They've called it like a mother-child, you know, birthing, whatever. But this is what we know as where the assassination took place. So this is exactly from piecing it all together about the angle, but on this front end of how his cot was. Okay. And this is where he kept saying the girls were beckoning him. Yeah. You know, that he kept describing that they were right here waiting for him. So in that window right there is the window where the shot was. We had the gun not pointing at us for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But the bullet went through this outer setup, went like right these bars right there, through these bars, and took him out with his shoulder like a deer hunting.
Wow.
Wow.
And by the time they figured out the shot, of course they rushed in here. They weren't thinking over there and piecing it together. And they said it was about 4 in the morning and it was drizzling outside. And it was just a few days after they announced the coroner's inquest findings that they had enough evidence to charge him. So that's why everybody just was pretty sure that it was the dad that was allowed to come. So this was all a wall. So they would have waited here, and they would have all had to come here. It was all security measures, right? So this would have been it here.
Okay.
And then they would have opened the catwalk.
Oh, wow.
And brought you across. And this led through behind the courtroom. You can see the assassination window there. And ironically, when they went looking for it, they couldn't find, like, the judge's bathroom, like, couldn't find it, and then went in there and it was all like storage.
Yeah.
So they dug it out, and then the built-in cupboards were still in the wall with 2, like they described from the court case, 2 big volumes. So I don't know if they were the original ones or not. Too creepy that they would be right there. Of the books that he propped the gun on, because he left everything when he left. It was all in place, including, I think it was cigar butts or something.
Yeah.
But right when they pulled up all the shelving and everything, pulled up the floor, there was a pipe where it was the bathroom. So that was the exact.
If there's anything or anybody here with us, give us a sign of your presence. We're here to learn more about the history and learn more about you. So your participation and communicating with us is greatly appreciated. We come in peace. We want nothing more than more information about this location and or about you. We've heard all the stories, and we want to make contact to, get that validation. I've heard there's been lots of suicides, amongst other things that might have cost you your life. So if you're one of those people that lost their life within these walls, we're asked that you communicate with us.
Punch the ball.
Are there any purported, or any deaths that were?
Many. Suicides.
So how many would you say?
Honestly, there's no records. So we don't know a real count, we just know what we can pull up from the newspaper articles. One of the suicides, it says specifically on his coroner's report that he bought the rope from the youth in the alley.
Wow. You don't have to be afraid of this at all. The only person you're going to have to worry about is the one that has a blanket around her. There's a little red light on the device that's in my hand. If you wish to speak into that, please do so. Something a little louder than just a whisper would be greatly appreciated. The red light is going to allow me to hear your voice and get a better understanding of what you're trying to say. From what I hear, what we've heard is that some of the conditions here Weren't the greatest. So maybe you can speak into this red light and, you know, share some of those experiences with us. Heather and I are going to go into the second floor again and tank 2. We'll walk around the... All right, if there's anything in here with us or anybody here with us, please give us a sign of your presence. It's just Heather and I. We're just here to attempt to communicate with you and, you know, go through your lovely building. If you had the misfortune of losing your life and you know, in this building, would you just share those experiences with us? You know, how did you pass away? There's a light on this device on my left hand, or in my left hand. If you speak into that red light, it's going to allow you to, allow me to pick up your voice and hear what your response was. So there's, you know, we've heard lots of stories about this cell block or this area being active.
Damon, can you look at this?
What?
Nothing.
Oh yeah, Albert. With a hand. It looks like a baby hand or something. Doesn't it look like a hand?
Where?
See the fingers?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's just an overactive imagination.
Don't leave it.
Like I said, there's a red light right on this device in my right hand. If you're here with us right now, standing in this hallway, and you don't want to reveal yourself, go ahead and grab that K2 meter. We're going to start doing that as well. You can speak into that red light, and it's going to allow us to. Oh, are you standing in the hallway with us? Don't get closer to me, babe. Stand right there. Stay right there. Are you affecting that gauge? It's not really acting right, is it? Turn it off, turn it back on. The heck?
It was at a 1. When it was...
Yeah. So Heather picked up this device and it started going, you know, started lighting up for us. Is that you? Let's walk back down that way. So Heather and I are going to continue to go back the direction we came from and see if this K2 meter, this device, reads differently. And it's sitting at a solid 2, which I honestly have never seen before. I don't know if it's a malfunction of the device or maybe the battery. The hell? Okay, keep walking. Are you in this hallway with us? You're on that. Still doing it? God. Yeah, it's not acting right. The heck? So the K2 meter in Heather's right hand is acting very weird. Like I've never seen it act like that before. I mean, if you're interacting with Heather, oh, can you continue to do that? Interact with Heather? She's got that device in her right hand. It's not going to harm you. It's going to turn pretty colors if you reach out and touch it or if you interact with it.
Okay, so here we are. We're in the room where Kingsley lost his life. He was shot from a window at the courthouse across the way in this cell. We're going to attempt to communicate with him, see if we can get any sort of response on the Necrophonic app.
The drowning of the two little girls. And the gentleman that's supposed to be their caretaker tried to take his own life, but kind of missed and shot off half of his face. And they found him, and they were trying to arraign him to do the coroner's inquest for the girls to see if they had enough to charge him, if he was innocent, if he was guilty, what have you. And during Rimrock Thompson's, one of many of these crazy cases where he had to hide the prisoner out so the town couldn't kill him. This jail was brand new. It was supposed to be nobody could get anybody out of here. Well, within the first year, we had an assassination because somebody was allowed to be in the courthouse across the way and waited out and then shot through 2 sets of bars. And I'll show you where all that happened. But and they took him out before he could testify on his own behalf. But he was writing on a slate to the nurse. And so part of the coroner's inquest is he kept talking about the girls, the little girls. They're here, the little girls are here, the ghosts of the girls.
You want to go inside there? In the cell? Okay. Kingsley, are you in the room with us? Kingsley, if you're in the room with us, can you make any sort of noise in the room around us? Can you hit the rails or give us a footstep? Sound like a little girl? Kingsley, what about the 2 little girls that you were accused of drowning? The ones that haunted you in your last days alive, are they in the room with us? If there are any spirits at all in this room, can you give us some sort of sign that you're here? Okay, once again, we are in the room where Kingsley, a man accused of drowning 2 young girls, was shot. If there are any spirits in this room, can you please give us some sort of sign that you're here, whether it's touching that device right there or making a noise by hitting the rails, give us some footsteps. Anything that you're capable of doing. Are the 2 little girls that were murdered present in the room with us? If there's anybody in the room with us, please give us some sort of sign that you're in here. So this is said to be the most active area in the jail. We're going to see if we can get any sort of spike on this. As you can see, we're walking around the outside of the cells here. Okay, we're getting some reading here.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, mine's spiking back here.
Is it?
That's me.
Oh. That actually kind of spooked me.
Sorry. I was walking past it.
So, I'm gonna come in here, and did you just touch my face? That was weird, like I felt like a cobweb filling on my face. Was that you that just touched my face? Did you just touch my face? If so, can you light this up for me? Or maybe do that again? That was strange.
Getting a strong reading right here.
There's something sucking the light out of my batteries.
Go back over here. It feels way colder over here right now.
Dude, like when I walked to this cell, I literally felt what felt like cobwebs hitting my face, or somebody touching my face actually, but it was like a cobwebby feeling. The same feeling that Molly was explaining. So
I don't know. Still staying up there a bit.
Are you in the cell?
I don't know. Even away from the metal, it's still staying up pretty high over here.
Is there energy, or is there like electrical sources in here?
That's what I'm wondering. It's either that or there's something standing right here, because every time I go to the same spot,
Yeah,
it spikes.
I mean the same thing here in front of, like, in the...
And then over here it spiked more
cell.
too. We're gonna just keep walking.
So basically the story was they did an investigation, found out it was haunted, they invited...
Okay, so the cameras definitely make it go more. But this, I mean, it's far away from any electronics.
It was an entity that...
All these locks are mechanical, it's not electronic, and we have all the breakers off in here. Stays up right here. Nothing on these metal areas. But right out here, if there's someone standing right here, can you please make my meter jump up to level 5? Can you reach out and touch this and make the energy level jump up a little bit more for me?
That was me.
Alright, so I just replaced the battery. Wow, does this seem foggy in here? Is there anybody in front of me? I'm at the vulnerable, my most vulnerable state. I'm here alone down on the first level. So if you want to interact with me, I would like that to happen. Why does it seem cloudy in here? Am I alone down here on the first level? I'm here to document the history of this building, get to know you a little better. I will tell you my story if you can tell me yours. All you have to do is answer a few simple questions. You know, allow me to take in some information about you. So if you're one of the individuals that took their lives, can you communicate with me? Oh, looks like it's just them. Like I said, I'm not here to harm you or pester you in any way. I'm starving for more information. That's it. Be mindful that there's also a red light on this device. If you don't want to show yourself or open or close one of these jail cell doors, you can speak into this red light. Was that you that just came up behind me? If you passed away in this building and you're here with me, oh, so my camera just picked up something. Is that you that just try to show yourself in front of me? My camera is thinking that somebody's in front or something's formulating in front of me or manifesting. Is that you? So I'm back on the first, in the first cell block. Is there anybody here with me right now? If you're here, give me a sign of your presence. I know I've said it a lot tonight, but we're definitely not here to harm you. I'm here alone, so this is definitely a good time for you to make yourself known. I'd like to get to know you a little better. If you want to give me your name. Did you just say something? Did you just try to answer my question? I swear I just heard a response. Boy, I hope I caught that. I hope I picked that up on my camera or my audio. Was that you? Thank you for answering my question. Man, I definitely heard a response to my question. As I walk through these hallways, I can't help to imagine some of the conditions you had to endure, especially during the summertime. And I'm sorry you had to go through that.
One of the guys was very specific to, there was always a beheading tank, we called it, and you could buy things from the tank.
Oh, okay.
You know, the big man and cheese, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and he said in the summer, if you were lucky, you could buy a piece of cardboard to try to harvest some of the swamp cooler.
Please don't pump me, you scared me.
Wait, what?
You gotta have a double tap.
So he would say he would sell cardboard so they can get the
Yeah,
swamp
so
cooler
think
effect?
about how chilly it is now. Well,
Yeah.
it snows outside, it freezes. So they have basic radiant heat. The radiators pump from across the way.
Yeah.
But for the cooling, there's no way to cool it. And think how hot. I mean, it is brutal and stifling. The air, you want the windows. And honestly, where that beautiful church is, that garden, that was a full set of buildings, tall buildings. So you only saw brick walls. You did not see a church garden.
Yeah.
That's pretty recent.
Were you approaching me from behind? Was that you? I heard a noise over here. So as I was asking before, how old were you when you took your life? Was it just too overbearing to be jailed up in this building?
All right. We're going to start in the first ladies area. Let's see, I think that this is designed for 6 inmates. All of them sharing a single bathroom. Our tour said that there's some pretty bad history in here with the guards.
And maybe the women get it more. There was a lot of traumatic things that happened here. Even with each other. You know, there's just part of the nature of having all male guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was, you know, you can see them getting dressed, you can see them going to the bathroom, you know, for the idea of safety.
Oh, so they would just stand there?
Yeah. They have no privacy.
If there's anybody in here with us, can you please touch my meter that I have in my hand? I think that's just your phone. I'm gonna go into the cells, give this another chance. Pretty crazy how tight these corridors are to get in and out. I have to go sideways. Don't mind the bloody handprints. I think that we were told that they were filming a movie or something in here, so.
This is the women's part of the jail.
However, you can still see where paint is covered up. Past engravings, but they're still present. I'm not getting any spikes on here yet.
1920s, being all male.
Give this one a try.
You can imagine what the women went through. No privacy, constantly being watched, taking showers, going to the bathroom.
Still not seeing anything in here. Got the toilet in here. Out in the open for everybody to see.
Yeah, like literally the last cell, you'd be sitting there and watching someone take a poop.
All right.
It's horrible.
If there's anybody in this area, please reach out and touch the meter that I have in my hand.
Did you lose your phone? No, I saw one. Thanks for staying with us. I don't have any. Oh, I don't understand.
We're still in the woman's quarters in here. That's creepy.
Maybe there's just like too much.
We got a shower in here with a bathroom. This area is meant for 4 people. Someone's smoking some cigarettes and put them in the toilet. It's nice. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're good. Yeah, I'm not getting anything in here. See how deep some of these scratches are in the wall? It's like they had to have worked at that for a long time.
Seriously.
But I mean, that's all that they had was time in here. So. Vanessa. Someone looks like they're gonna play tic-tac-toe up there.
You can see as you get in there, there's carvings and etchings, like all literally through time. We've had people come back to see where they stayed. I can't imagine
going back
that,
to them.
and they'll find their names on or something specific.
Wow.
All right, Kingsley, we're back. If you're in the room with us, can you please reach out and touch this meter in my hand or make a noise or something? We'd like to communicate with you.
Move this ball. Make this ball light up. Basically, he was the caretaker of 2 young girls. Something happened to the 2 young girls where they found their bodies in the river. He was arrested. He felt so bad that he tried to commit suicide by using a gun and shooting himself in the head. He missed, blowing half of his face off. They arrested him, brought him here to wait for kind of sorting out what had happened, if he was guilty of it. And while he was waiting across the way, somebody shot him through that window, through this window, through the bars, and in the shoulder, where later he died from his wounds. But before he died, he claimed to be able to see the 2 young girls come and visiting him. So Kingsley, I hate to ask you, but were you guilty of the crime? You never got to tell your story. When the girls came and visited you, what did they tell you? That doll's creeping me out, man.
Sitting over there in the corner.
Can you tell me how you died?
Can you tell us your name?
It's a hard show.
If there's a spirit in here, can you please tell us your name?
That one was allowed. I'll do it.
Want some water?
That's how they died.
Oh, shit.
Oh, hell no.
I didn't even think of that. Olivia.
Remember that. We'll go downstairs and see the girls' names.
Okay, Olivia, how old are you? Can you tell us how old you are? Are you the little girl that likes to run around here and show yourself to the tourists?
Okay, so just a second ago, my left hand, and it's still kind of doing it. Are you touching my left hand? Are you touching my left hand? Like I felt something touching my left hand. I mean, you can continue to do that. It was like a cobwebby feeling, the same feeling I got a few, like a while ago when I was entering one of the jail cells. I felt like a cobwebby. So as I'm walking through this, I can tell you guys that I don't feel like I'm alone. And it's not because I know that the other team members that are with me tonight investigating this building are on the second and or third floor of the building. It's more of a feeling of having another presence here, which is why I've been drawn to hanging out on this first floor area. There's a device right there in the middle of the floor right there with the red light. Yeah, that is another object that you can use, a harmless device that you can use to tell me or to show me that you're here with me. Do you think you can go over to that device sitting on the floor and touch that and to help indicate that you're here with me right now? Prove that I'm not going crazy? Just make sure it's still on, activated. So I'm gonna test real quick, guys. Yeah, it's still definitely activated. Yeah, so you saw that I barely got close to that antenna. That's all you have to do is just reach down and try to grab that red light. And as you can see, I was not harmed in that act. I tell you what, I feel like maybe you don't want to interact with me, and I can understand that. It's kind of a silly thing for me to be standing here and talk to you. If you want me to stop and trying to interact with you, can you just touch that light? I'm gonna head up to the second floor now. So I'm going to tank 2. I'm gonna go retrieve my K2 meter over here. All right, so I'm in tank 2 right now. Kingsley, or if anybody else is here with me, please give me a sign of your presence. Man, I can tell you right now, I normally don't feel like the quote-unquote heaviness, but man, do I feel heaviness right now. Whew. I don't know, it just makes it, what I'm feeling is like it's harder for me to breathe right now. Like, I don't know if it's...
People personally, physically, they can feel, or they have to lay down, or they have to be, we've had a few people that have felt like they've had to be carried out because they can't breathe. There's things. Wow. It's just a matter of, that's why we always say stay with someone or make sure you have someone checking in on you.
So you were in this little main area right here. Can you come back and interact with me again? I mean, at this point, okay. Are you on the ground? Okay. So are you, if this is you, or if you're standing right here next to me, can you go over to that black box and touch that? Actually, there's a ball right here. See this ball right there? Can you go touch that ball? Can you touch that ball for me? I mean, you're right here, so I can see that you're here. You're literally like 3 feet away from this ball. Come down here and touch this ball for me. Touch that ball, okay? Move that ball for me. Okay. All right, so it looks like whatever that was interacting with this K2 meter decided not to want to interact with that LED cat ball down there. So I don't see a static in this room either. So unfortunately, I don't have any statics either set up in this second cell. So I just walked and I saw the meter go up again. Was that you that tried to go, or that was interacting with this gauge and make it go up and light up for me? So I walked, just walking this way, see if it does it again. Are you in this room? If you're in this room right now, please do more than, I mean, I see that you're affecting this device, or you're reaching out and interacting with it, so thank you for that, but can you do a little more? Okay, so okay. Can you show yourself?
That young.
Man.
Why would you videotape that?
That's not way up.
Yeah, so there's some energy in this room, guys. Heather, can you come take some pictures, please? Heather, come take some pictures, please.
I haven't taken pictures.
No, like here. So we're in this room and I see that you're interacting with this gauge.
I just heard somebody laugh.
It's probably you, how silly you are.
Yeah, you were literally just laughing. So.
No.
Here, take that light away, take that light away.
Okay.
Is there a spirit taking a nap right there?
Wow, are you lying on this bed? This bed frame? You're definitely not scared of all being in the same room together.
Well, not after being probably shoved in here with 3 other people.
Wow, this is crazy. I don't see any source that would cause this gauge to go like that.
No, plus it's like going up and back down on its own. It's not like it's changing with you moving it.
Okay, so as we're speaking, there's something touching my ear. Was that you that just touched my ear?
Where's
my where's the
It's going crazy.
the necrophonic? I know it's out of this world. The statement "out of this world" may have described that very moment we were in. However, I'm at a loss of words that I could use to explain all the eerie experiences that we were having up to this point into the investigation. The energy that we were feeling was through the roof. While this part of the video has come to a close, I can assure you that our encounters with strange phenomena here at the 1910 Sheriff's Jail did not end here. Stay tuned for the next episode. Until our next Eerie exploration. Whoa, crap. Should have solved that.
I don't know where.
Does it look even?
Yeah, it just has a pull going right down the middle.
I'm trying to get, should I move it this way
I
more?
would have it off center a little bit just so you can see that hallway a little better.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like that's good.
Okay. All right, it's playing. Oh, it's recording. Let's go set up the other one.
So if you want this one.